Good morning, good afternoon, happy Wednesday. Really good day today, but kind of a funkier market. The stock selection out there wasn't great, but I traded really well. So we're going to break down my exact pullback strategy that I used to catch every single winner that I caught this morning on GITS, on PAVM. Got to break it all down. So today was a pretty good day. Of course, you have some of that craziness to start the week with the whole Greenland tariff situation. And so yesterday, the market had its worst day in over 3 months. Now, of course, today the market has rebounded. I think by now we should know better that this tariff drawdown does not last very long. And so yesterday was a great buying opportunity. Was able to contribute quite a bit yesterday. So looking pretty good today. So anyways, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Today was a pretty dang good day. Again, GITS was the showstopper, but we also had PAVM as the leading gapper this morning. So a lot to talk about there as well. We only had one trade on PAVM today, but it was a nice play. I had it from 21s up into the 23s. And so, but let's go ahead and break them all down. So we have a lot to go over here. And I want to start by looking at the gappers we had this morning, which, man, there wasn't a whole lot today. And I think a lot of that fear from yesterday was still setting in. We had SLGB, PAVM, and BOXL, and only one of them really met criteria. And SLGB, I took a loss on at market open. This is how I started my day. I came in, and the open's been hot. The open has been hot. I saw this start to get bought up a little bit here at the bell, and I look back at this, and I was so frustrated because I missed something. And this is the same setup that I traded yesterday on SHFS, I think it was, or something similar. There's been so many stocks moving. But nonetheless, it was the same exact setup, which I actually traded twice yesterday for profit, the same exact setup. And so I come into the open today. I see buyers step in on the break of the moving averages here, and I try to take it for a curl back up higher. Well, I started the day with a loss. And so I come in, I try to break the ice here in SLGB, and I just don't have a very good time. And I didn't realize we had trendline resistance right overhead. So after seeing that, I was a little bit frustrated with the play there. And I hold myself to an extremely high standard. You have to. And this is one of those cases where, man, what I thought I was looking for here was the simple move back up to retest this past area of supply from pre-market, which gives me plenty of range there to look for that play. From the 3/6s back up into the 4s, I would have been sitting nice. But like I said, didn't really get that move, as you can see, because we had trendline resistance overhead. So this just was not a good setup. The game plan here was to watch it off of 350, and so I stuck to the plan from the watch list this morning going into market open. And like I said, as you can see, ended up not getting the move I was wanting to get. So it is what it is. Left on that and went over to BOXL. Now, BOXL, I did trade quite well today. The only sort of thing I can say about this is the resolution here was just simply terrible. It looked good. I kept trying to take after pullback, and it just wasn't getting going. I had the break of trend here this morning out of market open, where we have this, of course, previous high of day down to the next lower high, and I'm looking to see if this wants to get breaking out higher up through VWAP. And I play it really well. You can see here I'm watching this into the bell. I had on the pre-market watch list to watch it off of VWAP. Price is sitting here consolidating so tight off of VWAP. And so I keep trying to get this to go. And so I take a pullback. Look, I see it pull back here. We have this first 1, 2, 3 candle move at the open. Price pulls back. It gets bought back up. So I'm like, all right, well, this thing wants to go. So I take it. I punch it here for the break higher, and nothing. We would just hesitate off the high. It pulls back off this past low. I add some back. Again, reject off the highs. I take a full exit. And again, I'm just like, this thing just isn't going either. Some small green on BOXL, man. So I'm frustrated here too. And then we had PAVM. And PAVM was one of those where it actually was a very clean setup today, and I'm glad I was able to play it how I did. We had great top-down confluence, and I was able to trade this pretty well. So going into the bell, initially I missed the move. We had this first move here where we broke out at market open. And from there, I was a little bit irritated. I'm like, well, I missed the move. So now what? The reason why I missed it is, you see, I was watching it back here on this pullback after it broke over the high of day, this little opening range breakout. I was watching it there for pullbacks off the 90 MA, and I hesitated. I didn't take it. And the reason why, if we zoom out some here, you'll see exactly what I'm going to show you. We had ascending resistance overhead, which stopped me from trading this. We had this high of day, led to the previous high, or led to the next high, excuse me. It just caused me not to take this. Because again, we're sort of buying up into this past high. And so I just don't take the trade. And I'm so mad. And so what happens here is we have this perfect pullback opportunity. I'll show you here on the other chart. If we look at the 5-minute chart here on PAVM, you have the perfect opportunity off these pullbacks. And I was able to play it quite well. So what happens And so take a look here, and price makes the first big move here to the upside, begins to consolidate and pull back and put in place a bit of a range. Well, we've got this past low sitting here, pulls back once more, puts in place another low, and then forms this double bottom. Well, it forms a double bottom, and I see buyers begin to step in, and we also have that confluence here off this past low as well from the first move. So we've got a lot going for us here. We really do. We have this higher low, confirmed double bottom, and we have range back up into the previous high of day. So, hey, I played this very well. As you can see here, I took it here from an entry at $22. Actually, 21.90 with stop loss goes to the bottom of the candle at 20.90, about $1 a share of risk. And then I got to move here back up into the 23.50. So, hey, I'm happy with that. I can't complain. I left some runners in, trying to see if we couldn't get squeezing up through these highs. It was the leading gainer of the morning. I tried to give it a chance with runners. And as you can see, I sold the rest of my entry just about. So, but of course, as we sort of inched up into this past area of supply, took my full profit and was just content. Not to mention with it being a slow start to the day too, I took what I had and ran with it. I didn't play it again this morning. It is now up at new highs. But again, I am done for the day. So it's one of those things. Going along, we had CJMB. We had no opportunities there. What else did we have today? Here we go, GITS. This is the good one here this morning. I know it's looked pretty slow and uneventful so far, but I promise it was actually a very good day. So over on GITS, I'm super happy with this. GITS, one of the leading gappers of the morning. This thing gapped up. This thing ran. Look at this. From 92 cents all the way to a high of $3 a share today. This thing was wild. And so I actually missed the first entry here. And I need to start putting myself out there a little bit more. I think I'm still sort of accustomed to the market we were dealing with all through the fall, all through the winter. And so we're sort of heating back up now as we go into the new year. And I guess today I played it more conservatively because of the open. The opportunity wasn't fantastic, but I would have loved to have taken this right here on this micro pullback off of VWAP after confirming this breakout. But nonetheless, I still played it quite well. So I didn't take it here because you're right tied up underneath the previous high of day. I'll wait for the break of the high. So was watching for the break of the high of day here over $1.90. Price breaks. As you can see, waiting for the confirmation candle. Confirmation candle comes right here. Price pulls back. I was able to have an entry at 203. Stop loss goes at the bottom of this last candle at 189. So a little bit more than 10 cents of risk, but really, really happy with the entry there. Took the simple pullback off the previous high of day. Volume was pouring on in. And we knew we had range here to the upside up into the 2426 as we noted as well. Then, of course, as price breaks over this recent high over 218, stop loss gets raised to the bottom of the breakout candle right here. At that point, the trade is completely guaranteed profit and risk-free because the stop is above the entry. And then price tracks higher. I take a full profit up into the highs here because it actually fails a halt band. It tries to halt here twice and fails. I take a full exit. That's typically what we'll do because as we see something fail a halt band multiple times, even just once, you out there see that. They get impatient and say, oh, it's not going to halt. So they hop on out. Shorts pile on in. So I took an exit, waited for confirmation. It was able to take a re-entry down here as it confirmed back off the same price range. So we know buyers liked it here off of VWAP. Price pulls back again. As we can see, confirms off of VWAP again. And so able to take a re-entry. Stop goes at the bottom of this candle once again. And as you can see, was able to take it here from 220. Stops at 203. And I got to move here towards 290 over the previous high of day up into ascending resistance. So, hey, I am extremely happy with this one today. I tried to play it again for the breakup higher. You can see here, I took a very small loss in the day. But I'm extremely happy. You can see exactly what I was looking for here too. Of course, all things considered, you look at the broad market context, I couldn't have asked for a better executed day. PAVM, I traded very well. I only have one trade on it, but it's a win. GITS, I've got two beautiful wins on this. The only ones that I am frustrated with is just the fact that I missed that signal on SLGB and I took a loss on it at the start. And while it is a nice day today, that is one that I can look back at and say, you know what? The signals weren't really all there. Everything wasn't really aligned. And maybe I missed something there. So that's something that I can look at on SLGB and be a little bit frustrated with. But see, that's because in what sort of, I don't say this in a way to brag. I say this in a way to just explain sort of my thought process through all things execution. I hold myself to extremely high standards. And even on days like today where it was a green day, and I'm happy with the trades that I took on GITS and PAVM, trades like SLGB eat me alive. Even though it's a small loss. And even though I still had a nice day today, and it was just one loss out of many good trades today. Knowing that I missed a key piece of the puzzle just eats away at me. And so it's one of those things that I have a pursuit for perfection, and that's my weakness. It's a pursuit for perfection. Because you can't be perfect in the market. You just can't be. We're humans. We're going to see things that we're going to make mistakes sometimes. We're going to take trades we shouldn't have taken. That's just trading, but we have to manage risk when we do. So it's about accepting mistakes. It's about accepting the fact that you're not going to be right every single time. But for me, I still get extremely flustered and frustrated from stuff like that on SLGB where I'm like, man, why'd I take that trade? That's just trading. And you've got to be aware of those emotions. That way you can manage those emotions. So I go on from that. That was my first trade in the morning on SLGB. Started the day frustrated and then took it away on PAVM and GITS. So that is my Wednesday. Hopefully you guys had an awesome day today as well. Today was another green day to continue the streak on. Knock on, well, this is metal. I don't have any wood in the room here. But if you have some, knock on wood. And let's hope for another awesome day tomorrow. I'm hoping for much better opportunities. Today was still a little bit funky, but was able to get something going. So I'm happy with it. But again, the 90MA, VWAP, they are your best friends. And as you can see, both on PAVM and GITS, they were my best friends today as well. So in any case, if you did learn a thing or two from this video, make sure to subscribe for daily content just like this. We are growing so fast. And I thank you guys so much. We've got almost 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, over 200,000 followers on TikTok, over 30,000 on Instagram. And I want to thank you guys for allowing me to be part of your daily routine. Being able to trade in front of and with over 500 people every single day in real time is such a fun experience. So that being said, make sure to claim your 7-day free trial. Link is down in the description below to watch and trade alongside me every single day in real time with alerts, education, chat room access, scanners, news, momentum AI, momentum journal, and so much more. And that being said, I'll catch you back tomorrow for another amazing day ahead. Comment down below how you did today, and I'll see you there.